Hello, Fredak here, Fred ACC. That's right, today it's handicapping. Handicapping 101. Continuing our tutorial. Alrighty, first up, I'd like to thank you all for being here. This is not financial advice, I'm just giving you knowledge. Knowledge is power. For those of you new spotting this, please take a look at some of my past postings. Take a look at the 2024 Kentucky Oaks. Take a look at our trip note alert from June 14th, given out in advance. My postings, trip note alerts, and different thoughts will be in advance. No red boarding the next day, look what I did, look what I had, body. If you want to learn the game of handicapping, sports gambling, the stock market, this is the place. If you're here for the aesthetics, you're in the wrong place. Alrighty, that being said, let's try to advance our handicapping 101 knowledge about horse racing. First up, if you want to be good at anything, you gotta do your homework. You have to get involved. I can't come through YouTube and give you a personal one-on-one tutorial. It's all here for you. Follow the steps, look at all the different things that I'm posting. Pick the area that you want to get good at, start to learn. That's all that I can tell you. Let's go back to handicapping the horse races. The basics of the horse racings are, you don't want to bet a lot of money to make a little bit of money, but you're looking for value. Let's try to explain value. I use a lot of analogies to try to transpose thoughts from my head into your head. At any rate, please subscribe, hit the likes button, ask any questions you might have. I'll do the best I can to try to answer them. So, value. Simple way to understand value would be, let's say you have a horse and he's won 8 out of 9 races. Very consistent horse. On the top level, let's say like an American Pharaoh. He's beaten the best of what's out there. He's running at the right distance, 1 mile and 1/8. And that's what he specializes in. He's in a race for $600,000 of the purse. He's going against horses that he's consistently beaten over the last 2, 3, 4 races. There's no newcomers to the group. So the expectation would be that he's going to go off at like 1 to 5 odds, meaning you bet 5 and you get back 6. But horse racing is all designed by how the crowd is playing. So if the crowd is not betting on him, then you might go off at 1 to 1 odds. 1 to 1 odds on a proposition like that, an individual might actually deem that to be a very good value bet. You'd say, well, I'm getting good value for my money. He wins almost every time. I'm getting even money. I'm doubling my money. And in such a big race like that, if he had so much as a paper cut or had a slight temperature, they probably wouldn't run him. Looks like somebody's coming by with their boat. Fantastic. Start to do your homework. Maybe the next boat will be yours. I'm not going to sit here and profess about my big boat back there, which is not mine. I'm just trying to share some knowledge. Knowledge is power. The more knowledge you have, the more power you have. So, sorry to be bouncing around. Let's go back to understanding the horse races. The horse races are run at the racetrack for the simple reason to acquire as much gambling as possible, and the racetrack takes a piece of it. They take a cut. I'm going to go with a number of 20%. That's their takeout. That's the amount that they take. Different racetracks have different takeouts on different types of bets. Win, place, and show, the exacta, the daily double, the trifecta, the pick 3, the pick 4, the pick 5. Naturally, most racetracks that are giving away a lower takeout than their competitors are going to be advertising that. We only have a 15% takeout on our pick 5. Come bet at our racetrack. Give us the handle, the money being wagered. At any rate, so on win, place, and show, on a win bet, when you bet $10 to win on the 4 horse, that money, that total pool is being taxed. Down the road, we will try to have a much more in-depth understanding of how the takeout affects your wagers. For right now, you'll just have to follow along and try to conceptualize within your head the mathematics that I'm sharing. So when it comes to win betting, there's a certain amount that's sliced off the top and the remaining part is paid out towards the winning horse. If there's 10 horses and the 7 horse wins, whatever amount was bet on him, that gets divided up into the remaining amount of money, and that's what stipulates the odds. So the odds could vary, depends on how the crowd is betting. Your competition is all the people around you at the racetrack or all around the world. That's the era that we've come to, is electronic gambling. You can go online to drf.com and see results. You can go to nyra.com and watch replays. I suggest those. I'm not touting any of them. Down the road, if my subscriber base grows strong enough, I can possibly get a better arrangement financially for my subscribers, which is why I say please subscribe to the channel if you can, and hit the like button if you like what you see. So going back to the takeout. With the takeout, each race, the first, second, third, fourth, fifth race, all the way up to 10 races or 11 races or 12 races, has a certain amount of takeout, a slice that's taken from the pie. The daily double, which is 2 races in a row, you have to have the winning horse. That pool is only taxed once. The pick 3, which is 3 races in a row, is also only has 1 takeout. So there's a strong tendency for the daily double and the pick 3 and the pick 4 and the pick 5 to pay substantially higher than what the actual parlay would have been. What do I mean by parlay? Well, let's go with the first and second race for the daily double. If you bet the first race and the horse is a 2-to-1 horse, you bet $2 to win, and he wins, you're going to get back $6. And on the second race, if he's also 2-to-1, straight 2-to-1, and he pays $6 to win, and you bet $2 on him, you're getting back $6 for your $2. So if you bet $2 on the first race horse, and he wins and pays $6, and you say, you know what, I'm going to put the whole thing on the second race, the $6 to win, on the same 2-to-1 horse, and he wins, you're now going to have $18. There's a strong tendency for the daily double to pay a bit higher than that. It could pay $21, $21.40, $21.80, $22, $23. So there's a strong tendency, and the average everyday player starts to develop an understanding that the tax takeout does not affect you as much when you play these exotic bets, the daily double or the exacta, or the pick 3 or the pick 4 or the pick 5. So to do some of your homework, go into the drf.com, look at any particular racetrack, take a look at the results. They'll usually have some type of charts there that show the winning price of each race and the horse. So if you look at any different string bet, exotic bet, whether it's the daily double, the pick 3 or the pick 4, to have a winning wager that is the daily double, both horses have to win. So if you bet, let's say $2 on the first one, and take the whole pile of winnings and put it onto the second one, that's going to be the same thing as playing the daily double. But if you notice, the daily double will almost always pay more money than what the parlay would have been. So naturally, if you're betting $2 and they're both 2-to-1s, and you play the first race and he wins at $6, and you double that at $6 at 2-to-1, and you have $18. If you play the daily double and it pays $21, you have $3 more. Originally, $2 of this was your own money, so your profit margin on the $18 is going to be $16 profit. On the daily double at $21, you're making a $19 profit. 16 to 19 mathematically is a difference, which is why people will gravitate towards playing the daily double or the exacta. The exacta, you have to have the first place horse and the second place order in that exact order. So if you bet the 3-5 exacta, it has to come in 3 and 5. Now, I have a personal opinion about playing the exacta compared to the daily double. The daily double, somewhat usually the best horse wins the race. On the exacta, the horse that runs second is not always the second best horse in the race. And there's a rationale for that. Let's just say that there's a front runner that's the 1-to-1 favorite. He's expected to go wire to wire and win. Well, if the horse that you're thinking is going to run second in that race is the 3-to-1 second choice, and he tries to go out there head and head with the even money horse, he might fade off in the middle of the stretch, and right near the wire gets nipped by somebody else that's 11, 12-to-1, 8-to-1, 6-to-1, whatever. And you might sit there and look at it and say, oh man, he should have been second. Why did he chase after him like that? But that can happen. That's part of the horse racing game. That's another aspect that we'll go into in one of our handicapping 101s, is trying to visualize how the race is going to be created, how the pace will run. Will there be a lot of front runners? Will that set it up for a closing horse? Will there be a lone speed? Is there a horse that's going to take the lead all by himself? At any rate, if you've stayed through this tutorial, please take a look at June 14th, our unit economics pick. I stipulated on there a day in advance that if he was 5-2, I'd put some money on him. 4-5-1. If the crowd wasn't betting him, I would have liked him quite a bit. He won easily, but he was bet. He was a little higher than what I thought he would be. And I played some different gimmick bets trying to create some values. I didn't hit anything big. Won a little bit of money. Nothing to talk about, nothing to write home about. But the other positive thing about horse racing and sports prognosticating is that most of the time it's tax-free. I'd like to thank you all for stopping by. Please take a look at my other different tutorials. They tend to work in a certain amount of a hierarchy. Alrighty. May all your days be winning ones. Thanks for stopping by. Soon we're going to start to dwell into the stock market. Day trading the stock market. Wonderful.